February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 2. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Normally they're shorter. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is when we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon? A tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me back when I was a young'un, at least. Officer Marshall! I thought I'd come take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That ought to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen for the last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Well, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. Saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. But now I want some steak. February 23rd, 12:32 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 9.
I'd like to resume?
What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite besides himself.
Excuse me. Knock knock.
Who's there?
What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature was 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he?
Ah, it's you!
Oh! Sorry I'm late, Archie. The roads were blocked.
packed, it's just me. Long time no see, eh, Aji? How you been? Swim much these days? Oh, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, Aji, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Aji, thinking he's nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you?
Aha! So you're Wright-o, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Eh? Thanks?
So sorry about our Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly.
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright! You don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police?
He's a top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant, Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe.
On little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth! How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth? That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah! The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at that blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not.
Would you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think you all have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I won't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. There's a small tag on this knife. It seems to say SL92. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 of DL6 incident fame. It's strange. Huh? What is? I'm not certain, but I have the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this are letters that look a lot like this, somehow. Well, if we turn it upside down, it looks like a 6-7-S. Yeah. Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the court record. Found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached.
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really.
Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. At the time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it.
There was a murder at the police department. A detective.
That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection! Well, wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order! 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 Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. But we're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Oh, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Well, I mean, we did find this note.
Objection!
Damn. I guess I have to keep pressing first.
Hold it!
Excuse me, special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was his knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery.
And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. And this knife was found on the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? You see, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that linked this knife to Detective Goodman. We've got the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. Oh, I guess I have to do it for this one.
Objection!
Wait a second.
Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection.
This knife. This has to do something to do with good Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Aha! And honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7S. December 2nd.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get?
Ah! Aha!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
SL9. That's the same thing that was on the red knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief?
Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? Ah. What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice! Nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. I do think there isn't a connection there. Something happened to the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, righto, my boy. Very sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy?
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, righto. I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Well, where the victim was found at the police department. When the victim died, he already said that at 5:15. So how was the victim killed? How's the detective killed? How was he killed? Now, that's the interesting part. It was what we are in the force call a stabbing with a knife. Knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases and the cause of death. It seems like I'm gonna have to press this a little harder. Five, 15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What?
Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place, a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand?
I do understand, Righto.
But if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the two murders together? Whatever it is, I better find and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One of the prosecutor calls and one of the police calls. Can't be a coincidence. And that knife, what was it doing there? Where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't you mention that in the testimony just now? This knife was discovered in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go town on this case. The link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now I can get Gant to testify about the details.
Objection!
What do you mean that's not valid?
Hold it!
Oh, I had to press. Damn it. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay?
Hold it!
If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of them. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers. Don't go getting your hopes up. Number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim in the police department, 5842189. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department. Tells you something? What does it tell you?
Take that!
Who the victim was. Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news?
Huh?
Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
Police department. Prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right. Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
What? Wait a second, Wright. What does this
mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time.
Objection!
That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, in a completely different location. Order! 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 Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said, wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got your report, sir.
You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report.
Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said that the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right at the top of the report.
Ah! Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer was capable of making the connection. He seemed challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy.
what?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Mr. Wright? Huh? It's,
Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. How is this rule relevant?
Normally, you just submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wrighto over there. Good job, Wrighto, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job.
No. It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy, what with all those rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do.
You had better get results this time, really.
You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
To be continued.